Welcome back to Melodic Memories of Light's Monarch. I'm Casey, and today I wanted to say happy Easter weekend since it just finally finished today as I'm recording this. It is a little bit late, but it is Easter Monday yet all the same. And yeah, I don't know if y'all celebrate it, but happy Easter, and for those that don't, the Friday was my birthday. As I mentioned in my last episode, I am finally 26. Wow, I feel old, and it's been confirmed by many people that I am now an old man. I know for those, please don't get offended, but my cake that I had at work, because the way that my work does it, every single day that a person's birthday passes, or if they catch it on the day if they can, they will buy a cake for the person, whatever cake they want, or snacks, all the same. And today, they got me an ice cream cake, because obviously ice cream cakes, fuck yeah. Anyways, they got me an ice cream cake and it said happy birthday old man on it, so it's something I will never live down from now till the end of my days. And you know what? I'm not even going to complain because it made people laugh, it brought me a smile, and actually got a really funny photo out of it as well, which if I bug Courtney for it, she's the one that took it, I'll be able to post that to my socials as well. At Lights Monarch, hit me up. All the same though, my birthday did just pass, and my birthday actually, for somehow, I'm surprised that it took me this long to realize it because I am a huge Superman fan. Let me preface that. Ever since I was a little kid, as long as I can remember, I used to love Spider-Man, but Superman was the one that became my number one, especially for DC, number one no matter what. As a little kid though, Spider-Man, I can't lie, he was my favorite, but my dad, love him to bits. He is the reason why I am the way that I am for a lot of things with hockey and superheroes, for the main two. And regarding Superman, his day, Superman Day, quote unquote, is April 18th. And I knew that like last year and the year before it and this year, and it seems that every single year it comes around, I forget. So somehow, my stupidity, I'll blame it on myself completely. It's it's a little bit of a smooth brain moment, if you will. It's Superman Day every April 18th. Who would have thunk it? But I just had to say it because happy Superman Day. He is 87 years old. Crazy. Crazy that it's 87 years. And the new movie with James Gunn and David, whatever his last name is, Corn something. Regardless, that comes out July 11th. Wild. Absolutely wild. I am a diehard Snyder Cut fan. I'm not a toxic one, though. At least I'd like to think I'm not. All the same, though, I am excited for this new Superman movie. Optimistically excited. I want to be optimistic about it, is what I'm trying to say, because I really don't know how it's going to turn out. But it is the next Superman thing to look forward to. And on Superman Day, on my birthday, I was able to celebrate it during the afternoon by watching Man of Steel with Crystal, as she's staying with me for the month. She ended up loving the movie, and it is my favorite Superman movie. I can't lie, I am a diehard for that Superman, for that universe, and it just makes me really happy. And as I've been told, quite fitting that Superman Day falls on my birthday. And it made me really happy. Just gotta say that because, hell yeah, it made it just that much more sweet. And speaking of sweet, Mayday Parade. Hello, Mayday Parade. They are back. They are actually back. Sweet, their first album, or EP, if you will, the first of three EPs that they have planned for this year. Sweet is out. It is out now. It came out April 18th on my birthday album, if you will, even though, again, it is an EP. Don't get your hopes up for a lot of songs. It's only about 8-9 tracks. And the track list, even though it is short, is a fucking banger. It really slaps, and I was very, very happy to hear it in full, which, honestly, the song that I thought was going to be, like, their biggest one was actually my least favorite. For single purposes, rather, because they dropped a new single on the release day with none other than Knuckle Puck. I haven't really touched on them much at all. I don't know their stuff very well. I know Copacetic, and stuff from that era, but I don't know any new Knuckle Puck at all, and I don't know anything that they've been up to. But the fact that I've finally heard them on a Mayday Parade EP of all things is kind of wild to think, because they are both kind of pop punk, but I have to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I don't know Knuckle Puck very well or nearly enough, but Mayday Parade is definitely more emo, no? Like, they're more of an emo sound compared to Knuckle Puck, which, if I'm not wrong, is more just pop punk kind of punk rock. That genre, rather than just straight up emo, like Mayday Parade most certainly is. Now, don't get me wrong, the collab was definitely very good. I still very much enjoyed it to the utmost. It just is the least favorite of mine. Now, the track list goes, by the way, 4,000 Days plus the ones I don't remember, Who's Laughing Now, featuring Knuckle Puck, This Personified, which is just a little 18-second interlude, into Who We Are, Natural, Towards You, and Pretty Good to Feel Something. Crazy to think that we got the first single like a year ago, and it is the last track on this EP. Doesn't happen often that bands do that, but it makes me curious to know that if technically this thing is part one of a 3-part album, does that mean the next album is going to follow this one? Like, how... I'm really, really intrigued and really curious to know how it's going to fall thematically. What's going to happen? Are the flowers on the cover of Sweet slowly going to wilt and change? Are we going to get a completely different sounding album? I don't really know anything that Mayday Parade does other than emo music, so I don't know even what to expect. And I don't mean to say that in trying to close them into a box for whatever they are. They're amazing artists. They really, realistically, they know what they're good at and they know what they're doing. So ultimately, there's nothing wrong with that. I love them. I love this album, or EP if you will, Sweet, and I'm very happy with it. To be honest, my favorite song on it is 4,000 Days plus the ones I don't remember, or Natural. It's a toss-up between the two. Out of singles, I really love By the Way. Can't get enough of that one, but overall, it's one of the two. It has to be. Top 3, I guess I could say, were those two and then By the Way, but the whole thing was really, really good and not disappointing at all. And again, I'm excited to see, like, the fact they dropped that as their first single, probably before they had all this thing planned. But first single was the last track of the EP. Is the next EP to follow gonna follow suit just right there, beat for beat? I don't know. Nobody does. I'm very, very curious and very intrigued to know when we're gonna see the next stuff and what it's going to be. Is it going to be a long wait? Are we seeing something in the next few months? Are they trying to release it all this year? Who knows? They haven't specified. But when they do, I'll be sure to talk about it, because I know they're going on tour soon, if not already, and they have a specific vinyl variant of Sweet, which is limited quantity every single night that they do their tour. Definitely pick one up if you can. I would love to see photos of it, because I personally, living in Canada, did not get to order one. It's just too expensive at the moment for me. And I would love to see and live through all of your experiences. So please share some photos with me. I definitely need to see them. All the same though, that was Sweet by Mayday Parade. Brand new EP from them. Cannot get enough of those the little emo guys. I love them to bits. Also, regarding my birthday, or rather the day prior, was the Tortured Poets Department. Taylor Swift, the Tortured Poets Department. It turned 1 year old. 1 year old. That is honestly wild to think that it came out a year ago. That album, yes, it wasn't my top album of the year, but it did make my list all the same, and it's finally a year old. It was the album that I kind of listened to on my birthday last year, because with the way that it came out, it was like released at 10 p.m. right before. So I just considered it as such, but all the same, it was just something that I'm really wowed by. I can't believe that it's already a year old, and it's one that just, I have to say, every listen just, you uncover something more. There's a lot of depth to this album, and I don't think people fully understood that when they first listened to it. Just being, generic pop listeners or the average music listener, I know that the average consumer of music, they don't really dive in deep. They don't really think too much on the lyrical content or even why the music sounds the way it does. Maybe the certain composition of a certain song or references from this song to the next. That's not something a lot of people pick up on. You have to be more akin and kind of acquired taste to music and certain kinds of music to really understand it and be a part of it to get it. And on April 17th, it turned a year old. Wild. Absolutely wild. An album that I hope goes down as one of her best, at least in terms of lyricism and poetry, as it is her one that she made all about poetry. And it's kind of her diary from when she was going through a bunch of shit, from different lovers in her life down to the fan base themselves just causing issues. It's a heavy album. It got the huge ass anthology edition to it as well. If you haven't heard it by now, do yourself a favor and go listen to it if you have a spare 2 hours and some, because it is worth every second, at least for one listen in full. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. That is fine, but you gotta at least give it a shot because it is one of her biggest projects ever, and it's a year old, so why not? Why not now? If not now, when? Right? And not to mention that, but also the same day that it turned a year old, I was able to attend a little get-together for a going-away party for my coworker Kim. Kim is going to be moving to Idaho. A good old potato farmer she will become. Just jokes, of course, but she is going to plant at least one potato plant so she can live the dream. She's going to move with her boyfriend, which is insane. Props to her. Super happy. Bigger and better things, obviously, than here. And she's deserves it. Honestly deserves the hell out of it because she is, if I had to be honest, she's like the light of our work group. So it's going to be really sad to see her go. And she's going to be gone before I get back from my coming concert, because I am going to be gone tomorrow and the next day to Edmonton, which I will get into here in a minute. But I needed to say, Kim, gonna miss you. And thank you for being an amazing coworker, always being happy, always bringing light to the darkest of days. You are definitely a one-of-a-kind woman, and you're going to be missed by all of us, not just me. And I'm so glad that I was able to partake and be there for that little get-together. It was a great time, and I couldn't have changed anything. And I'm not one that usually does karaoke, but I did it for you, Kim. So please, I hope those videos don't break your eardrums any more than they did the first time you heard them, because the karaoke was definitely rough, but it was a hell of a time. And I actually was able to do karaoke with Matt, my other coworker. We sang Rockstar by Nickelback, a classic, can't go wrong. And then Eye of the Tiger I helped with as well. Also, I believe an ABBA song for Betty, Dancing Queen. May Betty rest in peace. This might sound like rambles to the listener here, and I apologize to everyone listening, but I just needed to say that for Kim, if she's even listening. If she ever hears this, we're going to miss ya, and I hope you have an amazing trip to Idaho and an amazing stay with your new chapter of your life. Congratulations, and don't ever regret this move, this choice. You got us no matter what, and I hope it goes well. With all that said, it was a bit of a get-together at Pat's there the day before my birthday, and then the next day was my birthday, as I've probably mentioned 5 to 20 times over in this one episode already, but my birthday happened. I'm 26, and thank you to everyone that came out for it, because I did have a pretty good gathering, ended up having a fire in my backyard, because why not? I don't often have fires, to be honest, but we've got a fire pit where I'm currently renting, and it just felt right. There's no fire bans. It was a bit windy, but all the same, got the fire made. I chopped the wood myself and got everyone invited. I kind of just got everyone together, and everyone that could make it at least made it. And those that couldn't, They at least reached out and wished me a happy birthday in one way or another, so thankful for them. And it was just a really fun time. We were able to just kind of chill around the fire, have good conversation, listen to music the entire time, which I had my liked song playlist on Spotify on shuffle the entire time. No one complained one bit. I think there was only a few songs I skipped because they were Kingdom Hearts tracks, which personally I love them, but when you're in a party atmosphere and not like a raging party, but a get together, if you will, for a birthday, Kingdom Hearts music being just instrumental, especially the more video game-esque kind of sounds, not really the party vibe, not gonna lie. We sat and listened through a couple of them, but as the night went on, I was like, I'll just skip it just for everyone else, pretty much. All the same, I was having an amazing time. The music was great because it was all my liked songs. I wasn't complaining. And everyone that could make it had an amazing time for what I know. It wasn't the most extravagant or big gathering, but it was enough for me. And it's something that I can look back on fondly. And I was able to take some photos and just make the most of it, which is something I'm trying to do more and more every year. And not even just every year, but every moment. Really trying to make the most of the moments in between because you don't know how many of them you'll have until they're gone. And that is kind of why I've made a little bit of a change in my own personal self of trying to capture these moments a little bit more and a little more authentically as well. I was able to get a photo with everybody at the fire, and afterwards, the Sunday, I was able to go to Easter and see my dad, my stepmom, my mom, my stepdad, sister, stepbrother, and his wife and kids, and my auntie was there too, even with her boyfriend, and my sister had her friend there too. It was just a big get together for Easter, and I was luckily able to get a photo with all of them as well. And just trying to be more sentimental and capture those moments because I'm always the person that thinks of it after the fact. I always kind of like, damn, I wish I would have taken out my phone. I wish I would have gotten a photo, because there are moments like that that you don't think about until after. And if I can make one person open their eyes to that, then cool, that's good enough. But I just had to say that because I really think that there's a lot of moments in life that people just kind of look over and look through almost because they're too focused and too blinded by what comes next. The next thing, the next day, the next whatever. And I kind of don't want to be like that. I want to live moment by moment. I want to experience these days and cherish these experiences and moments with these people that I love. The ones that make life a whole lot less dull and gray and keep the sunshine shining. Like, it's something that's important to me, and I just kind of wanted to do that, and I was able to. I did it right, I did it for me, and there's honestly nothing I can complain about. The way that I put it in the post that I made on my personal social was, life can sometimes be dull and gray, but with all of you, the sunshine finds reason to stay. And honestly, I can't word it better than that. I really just enjoyed the weekend so much, and usually my birthday is full of existential crisis like I mentioned in my last episode, but this year wasn't that. And yes, I've had good birthdays. That doesn't undermine what people have done for me in the past. I know my last year birthday was amazing. The one before that was good too. There's just usually one moment here or there where I have nothing but existential dread of the fact that I'm getting a year older, and this year it wasn't that. Granted, it was still kind of a little bit down-putting, or off-putting rather, to say that I am 26, but it wasn't a depressing kind of thing, if that makes any sense at all, because it was just a different vibe this year, and I'm able to be happy and content in myself, and I feel like I'm getting places. I know I'm not necessarily going to be famous. I don't expect to ever be one of the biggest people out there, but I can always push and strive to be the best person that I want to be for myself and for the people around me, the people that I love and cherish. And not only for that, but for this community, even though it is small and just a few people that listen every single week, and those people that do, I love you, thank you for supporting everything I do, for tuning in every week and actually listening to my nonsense, but I do want to grow it more, and if I'm able to, awesome, but if I can't, it's still a cherished group, and it's something that I'm going to put my passion towards and put passion behind because it's worth it. Anyway, to step off my high horse here now that I'm 26, apologies, I do need to say Easter just came and went on the Sunday, after my birthday, of course, and I was able to make it down to see my parents, and what a hell of a time. Like I mentioned, it went really well. Food was to die for. Both the chili that my stepmom Penny made and also the actual like full-on turkey dinner with stuffing and gravy and everything that my mom was able to make for supper. All of it was amazing, and the visits in between really made the most of it. Like I'm so happy that I was able to cherish those moments and experience them some more, especially because there was some random, like random as hell ice storm. The only thing I can think of calling it is like it rained ice. I know people say freezing rain, but it was worse than that. I wish I would have taken a video, or Crystal could have. We didn't, unfortunately, but it was downpouring ice. Not rain, ice. And it wasn't hail either. It was some in between middle ground something. And when I say downpour, I mean heavy, heavy downpour. You couldn't see much of anything at all. So much so to the fact that it was fine. It was just kind of like raining and whatever. Went over top of a hill, and then all you could see was white. There was no road anymore. There were no ditches anymore. It was white. And holy shit, will I tell you, I'm glad I'm a decent driver. Let me just say that. Because if I wasn't, I don't know if I would be here right now saying this to everybody now. I don't know if I'd be able to even make this episode happen. I don't know if I'd be here still. I know I'm being a little dramatic, but let me warn you, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't nice. I was making my own tracks with my little Juke that I have, which if you know what a Juke is, a Nissan Juke, it's not something like a truck. It's a little SUV-esque kind of thing. If that, it's, not anything that you should be plowing through snow or literal ice. Yeah, not the right vehicle to do it with. But my little Juke, Janet the Juke, she made it. Holy hell. Almost fell off the road, but again, if anyone listening knows, you use little movements, do not make big movements when you're losing traction like that, because ice came out of nowhere over top of the hill, and I'm very lucky to have rode it out, and at least I know what I'm doing, so gotta be thankful for that, right? But it is the exact same reason why I totaled my car last time, so you could say I learned from experience to some extent, unfortunately, on that one. Other than the amazing visits with my family, though, again, shout out to them, dad, mom, brothers, sisters, all my family that cared to reach out to me to say happy birthday and happy Easter and were there too. I love you guys. And if you're listening to this as well, I love you too. So much. I'm very grateful. All the same, though. After the dinner, I was able to go and vote, as it is voting time in Canada. I'm not going to spend too much time on saying all this because I'm not going to say who I voted for. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I just wanted to mention, if you are Canadian, go take the time to look at the different ridings in your area and just really take the time to decide what you feel is right. If you're over 18, mind you. If you're over 18, check your local ridings. Figure out who you feel represents you the best. Not everybody else, not a certain specific person. What represents you and your voice? Because you deserve to be heard no matter who you are. And that is the point of a democracy. That's why we live in Canada. That's why we get the rights that we get. And it is our right to have a voice. And in order to keep that right alive and well, you have to practice it. So use your voice. Let it be heard for whatever party out there that you want to vote for. Look into it and actually take the time to vote, because it does matter. Regardless of if you're told it doesn't or if you think it doesn't, your voice deserves to be heard, and please let it be so for whatever party you want to be voting for. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. Choose with what you feel is right and what represents you deep inside. And with that said, I was luckily able to do an advanced day of voting, and I did have to go down to the local area near my parents. I'm not going to specify where that is, but I did have to go down there to vote as my mailing address is still their home. I know, I'm 26. It's kind of sad. But hey, I'm moving around too much. I don't have a home yet, and I'm hoping that can change in the next few years, and I can finally have my address be where I'm properly living. Fingers crossed, it might be a pipe dream, but I'm hoping that it's not, because I just have to keep on working towards those goals. And I hope that anyone out there wanting the same thing is able to do the same, because it just takes hard work and effort. We've got this. The only other thing I wanted to mention regarding Easter was I was able to paint eggs with crystal. I love painting eggs every year, be it the Ukrainian in me, I'm not too sure. They're not the most pretty of eggs, but hey, they're eggs all the same and they are colored. And it was a fun time, and I'm hoping that I'm able to do it every year. It's just a little tradition that I've had ever since I was little, and it's one that I like to follow through on. So anyone out there painting eggs, share them with me, please, because they make me smile to see. And it's just a cute little thing to do for Easter that kind of lightens the mood, gets the creativity going, and even if you're bad at it, who's gonna care? It's a fucking egg. You're not painting Mona Lisa on an egg. And if you do, props to you. You should really think of making your hobby into a career. But I digress. And I was lucky enough this year to get many people to come see me on my birthday for Easter. I ended up getting a lot of gifts, which I was not expecting. I never asked for them, but sure enough, I got quite a few gifts from Reese, Crystal. Gracie's even got one coming for me. My parents got some, and it was just really heartwarming. I'm not going to go in depth onto what they were, but they were things that made me tear up, that made me cry a little bit, and it was just really heartwarming, and I'm just want to say my thanks here. Thank you. All of you. The ones that got me gifts and took the time to do that when I didn't expect it at all, because I never asked for anything. It means a lot. And it's definitely goes to show that it is the thought that counts rather than the amount behind it, at least for me. And it really just makes me feel humbled and extremely loved to know that somebody seen things, maybe multiple things or just one thing, doesn't matter. You were able to see something and think of me, and to know that I'm just on your mind like that for all of you guys just means a lot. And even if you didn't give me a gift and you still at least were there or at least wished me a happy birthday, I know I already kind of said this, but thank you again, because it is very humbling and I am incredibly thankful. Other than that, though, to kind of get away from my birthday here, the other thing that kind of happened on the weekend was Team Canada in the Women's Worlds. Not the best outcome. Not the best outcome at all for what we were hoping. We lost to the United States, the gold medal game. What can you do? It was pretty sad, not gonna lie. Granted, Canada almost came back and won it. They did get it pushed to an OT, at least. One OT, not two, but it got pushed to overtime, and unfortunately, they had a bit of a brain fart. I'm not even sure what happened, but they tried to pass it from behind the net. Went right, like literally, the Canadian player she was passing to must have not seen it and just got off the ice. I'm not sure, because she threw it towards the benches, bounced off of the bench, went to an American player, and that American player then did the play and scored it. So, not pretty. It happened really quick and was quite disappointing to see. Team Canada, women's, you guys did good. You really did. And it's impressive to say the least. So don't give up. Hopefully next year is our year. Make the Olympics count. Come on, girls, you got this. And to the American women, congrats. As much as I don't want to give the congratulations, it's still deserved. You know, you can't deny that. You guys won. Just wish it was Canada all the same, because obviously I am a diehard for Team Canada, and I don't think that's any surprise to anybody listening with how I reacted to the Four Nations face-off. Team Canada, good try, better luck next year, and even if next year is the Olympics and there aren't any women's world championship, here's hoping we can come home with the gold. Fingers crossed on that one. Other than that, in hockey news, the Oilers, hello? That comes tonight. Tonight, Monday, tonight, the Oilers play game 1 of round 1 against LA. Los Angeles Kings against the Edmonton Oilers. They've been facing each other in the playoffs, first round, for the last 3 years, I believe. And Edmonton has won all of them so far. I'm not going to let that get us too cocky, though. I really hope not, at least. Because this is a brand new year, a brand new season, and a brand new playoff run. So anything could realistically happen. You can't base it on the years prior. But Edmonton Oilers, come on, let's fucking go. Let's win this and make up for last year. It is time. I don't want to be too full of myself, and I'm not expecting us to win, but I am sure going to fucking cheer for it and be behind them every step of the way and just hope, because that's all one can do is hope and cheer, and hopefully that helps fire the team and helps put some fuel behind them to actually get their ass in gear and win some fucking games. Let's go, boys. That's something that happens right tonight, so I'm going to try to get this podcast episode finished up here real quick to go and watch it myself. I'm going to have Paul over, watch it with Crystal as she's still visiting, as I mentioned. Should be a hell of a time, and I hope it leads to an Oilers win to not just this game, but the whole series leading into the entire playoffs. I know that is definitely a high hope, and they were able to make it happen last year, just fell short by one game in the final against Florida. But Edmonton Oilers, it's a new year. Don't let that haunt you, and here's hoping you guys can pull through with not just one win, but many, and the one win that counts at the very end. Let's go Oilers. Other than that, the Leafs are playing too. Just had to mention them because I know I have some Leaf fans that are my friends, and if the Oilers don't win, I really hope the Leafs do. I know that's kind of weird to say, as most people are very, very competitive when it comes to these things, but for me, I would love to see a Canadian team win ultimately. I would love it to be the Oilers most, but if I had to choose a top 3, it'd be Oilers. I want them to win the most. If they get knocked out, I want the Leafs to win. If the Leafs get knocked out, then Winnipeg, you better fucking take it home, because you guys have been doing insane this year. That's all I needed to say. Sorry to bore anyone about hockey. Don't know if you care about it too much, but I sure the hell do, and it is something I'm very looking forward to watch tonight. Also tonight, I have to get packed and ready because tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to Edmonton for a concert. Now that concert is going to be the Metalcore Spring Break Tour, which I mentioned already in previous episodes, but it is finally here. It happens on Tuesday in Edmonton at Midway. Anyone going, fucking take all the videos you can and try to find me. Come say hi. But the concert itself, The Devil Wears Prada, Era, Acres, the other band that I always forget, and I so very much apologize, but I'm excited. I'm incredibly excited. Acres, they have that new album coming out in May with a bunch of new songs. Very, very excited for that. And of course, The Devil Wears Prada, they just dropped a new song on the 17th, and it's called For You. Super emotional. Bleeding emotion, really. And yeah, Mayday Parade is emo, but this song was like heart-wrenching. It's kind of a love story. Not so much a traditional one where it's like, aw, love, but more so like dagger in the heart kind of ouch love. And I know that sounds weird as a way to explain it, but it's somebody that is willing to give all of them from now until forever, even in the next life, anything for them. Where the other one that is receiving all of this from that person doesn't care. And it's a song about that kind of concept. It's really sad and very much up the Devil Wears Prada alley way, very much their sound, their style, and it wasn't disappointing. I was very happy with it, even though it is very, very sad. And it's just one that I hope that they're able to play because it is one of their, I want to say, better songs. I don't know their whole discography. I'm going to put that out there right now. But knowing that this is their new sound, their new song, I'm very excited to see where they're going from here because I wasn't expecting it. I know that they make emotional music. I know what they've sound like in the past. This one caught me off guard, as I did not expect it to be what it was about, even though they kind of mentioned it already in their email, I believe, and social posts. But a very good song. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. And if they do play it, I'm going to video it and post it on my socials because it is a song that I've had on repeat at least for the last few days since I was shown it. And I'm very happy to say that The Devil Wears Prada is back and Acres will be back soon too. All the same, I will talk more about that show when it actually happens on the next episode, alongside some recommendations that were given to me from my coworker Matt, the one that I did the karaoke with. He actually listens to the show, so hi Matt, everyone say hi. Just wanted to say thanks for listening, man, and I will get to your recommendations. He wants me to listen to Tupac, so it's going to be really interesting to hear that. And I believe there was one other song, but I'm going to focus on the Tupac album first. The next album I will get to after that, but he just really knows how much I like Kendrick Lamar, and I know I'm not super into Kendrick and knowing all of his music, but I do know a few albums here and there, and being that Tupac is who he is and how legendary he is to music in general, it's something that I'm really curious and intrigued to hear. Not only for my love of music, but my love of rap music as well. Like everything in general, I just know he is iconic. And the fact that I've never heard a Tupac album in full before is kind of blasphemous, let's be honest. So I'm excited to get to that and actually hear it. And when I do, hopefully for next episode, I will be able to touch on it some for not only you, Matt, but everyone else listening, and for myself, because I am very excited to get to it. I just have a busy life going on, but I promise I will get there. And again, really looking forward to hearing everything that he's got to rap about. And not only that, but to hear something that is really important to you. So can't wait to get to it within the next week. Lastly here, I just wanted to talk on some new releases other than The Devil Wears Prada, which the main one I wanted to mention here came out, I believe, the same day, if not the 18th as well. TX2, Hostage, They Will Not Erase Us. And it's by TX2. I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but he's kind of renowned around the internet as this guy that is just kind of a cringe emo content creator, cringe emo singer, whatever you want to title him as. I have to say, if you have that judgment towards him, get rid of it now, because listen to this song at least, please, because it is saying something that is very important to me. And that, first and foremost, I don't mean to make anyone upset, but if this upsets you, maybe you need to rethink a few things. And all I want to say is thank you for making the song TX2. Hostage, They Will Not Erase Us is very, very good, very well done. And I appreciate that you're speaking towards something that is such a hot topic kind of issue, one that needs to be spoken for and that needs to have a voice because, and I will say this again and again, trans rights are human rights. And that's all I will say about it for right now. Thank you for releasing that song and making it for that group that really needs it, especially in this day and age. Other than that, Unshattered by Linkin Park, the newest single from their deluxe From Zero, comes out April 25th, alongside Dan Avidan and Super Guitar Bros 3, which I mentioned in the last episode, a cover album, all acoustic. Insanely excited for that. If you want another taste of it, they did drop their cover of The Chain, which is, yes, the Fleetwood Mac cover, The Chain. Insane. I was really happy with it, at least. And obviously nothing will beat the original, but, you know, what do you expect? It's Fleetwood Mac, hello. But other than that, the new Ghost album comes out, Skelleta, or Skelleta, whichever it's pronounced, April 25th as well, alongside Popsicle by Lilith Czar, which is a new single from hopefully an upcoming album. She's been quiet for years. It's Andy Bierzak. If you don't know him, he's the singer of Black Veil Brides. His wife is Lilith Czar, and she makes some pretty fucking great rock music, not gonna lie. It caught me off guard for her first album, and that's all she has so far, so I'm very intrigued to see what she's doing now. And I wanted to end on this one because this one is something that I have talked about for probably the entire year, even probably stretching back into last year, which is Dayseeker. They finally are back and came back with a little bit of a teaser. It was a website, a link, if you will, that you were able to play these few notes and enter into, and it showed you a pretty much like a movie poster, which I guess is for their upcoming music video, for Pale Moonlight. Comes out, which they just confirmed today of all days, April 23rd. So we are getting new Dayseeker music, April 23rd, being Pale Moonlight. I'm so curious to know what it's going to sound like, what it's going to be, and what the album is. What is it building up to? Is the album called Pale Moonlight? Is it going to be the title track? Or is it going to be something completely different? Is that image that you're using for your Facebook and other socials, is that the album artwork itself, or is that the single artwork? I have no idea, and no one else knows yet either, but I think we're going to find out come April 23rd. So anyone else that is excited, tell me what you think about it when it drops at Lights Monarch. You can find me on all socials with that handle. I cannot wait to hear not only everything I already mentioned, but new Dayseeker. It has been too long. So thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it, as always. I'm going to go get this shit edited, go watch the Oilers hopefully win, fingers crossed, and I will catch up with all of you in the next episode where I'm able to talk about the concert after it happens and hopefully the status of the Oilers, and hopefully they're winning by then, so I guess we will see. And again, thank you for listening, and thank you for discovering the music within.